Any single ladies over here? Sometimes I wish I was just like... Wow. It's okay. Your husband's hot. How long have you guys been married? What did he do wrong today? He works too much. I'm sure you're not complaining when you're sitting in that plush home, are you? Those highlights aren't going to pay for themselves now. And you have bangs, and I know you have to fucking cut those every 3 weeks, so that is not cheap either. Okay? Can we say thank you to the hubby?
That's definitely the first time someone has given her a much-needed reality check. Too many of them take their husbands for granted and think disrespecting them is acceptable.
Oh my God, what do I do? Nicole! Nicole, you need to split back in! What do I do? It's not stopping! I don't... What do I do with it?
Mandatory vasectomies for baby boys.
What? I'm sure the rest of us can't wait to hear what the logical rationale behind the proposed forcible sterilization of innocent children would be.
If that made you flinch, good. You won't want to miss part 2 either.
Oh yeah, I can't wait. I'm sure it makes about as much sense as the first statement.
Trust me. You want to solve half of society's problems?
I actually think that we're witnessing part of society's problems right now in this video by seeing a person that's actually advocating for the mutilation of children. But go on.
Start there. Because here's the truth. Men don't want to wear condoms. They don't want accountability. They want raw. And when the baby comes, they say, oh, it's not my problem. So fine. Mandatory vasectomies. Problem solved.
The saddest part is this is not an isolated incident of delirium, and the comment section in that original video speaks volumes to that effect. But what I've noticed that a lot of these individuals that makes these sort of statements have in common is that instead of holding the grown men accountable for the actions that they're taking, they would instead punish the innocent. Makes a lot of sense, doesn't it?
Fix the fathers, fix the future.
Well, here's something that some aren't going to want to hear. It's not just the fathers that raise these kids to be irresponsible. Part of the responsibility also falls on the mothers for their failings as well.
And the only ones mad would be the ones that never wanted accountability in the first place.
Actually, I believe that any human being that thinks rationally would find the proposed mutilation of one demographic of children to be not just offensive, but utterly reprehensible.
So yeah, call it savage. But if we snip the problem at the root, we'd finally see what society looks like when women aren't carrying it all.
I wonder if they know that some individuals used to believe in the sterilization of women and other ethnic groups for the betterment of society. And we found that to be against human rights. But as long as it's against men, apparently that's okay.
My date showed up with her best friend. They ordered the most expensive food and drinks. I said I had to use the bathroom. I hope Daddy's credit card works.
People are mad at me for leaving a date who brought her best friend to dinner. Essentially, I had a date plan with one of the girls, and when I arrived, she said her friend was joining us. And when we sat down, they started ordering drinks and appetizers and complimented me the whole time. At this point, I knew this was a scam, and I left. And people are saying that I didn't have a right to leave because those women probably earn triple my wage, and I can't face the embarrassment of not being able to afford cheap drinks. And that poor dudes shouldn't date, just stay at home.
They think men owe them something just because they exist. So when any man doesn't be their personal piggy bank, they either insult or try to shame him into compliance with their demands.
Girls and cars are the same exact thing. You go in car shopping, right? And you kind of want to get that foreign. But then you look into the maintenance and you're like, whoa, I can't afford that. Same exact thing applies to girls.
See, but the problem here is we got way too many Kia Altimas thinking they're an 812 super fast. Takes you 80 seconds to get from 0 to 60. Let's dial it back.
I got an abortion for no good reason other than I simply was not ready to be a
destroy, especially for to meet an end.
Do you think the women in Atlanta or women in general in 2025 or dating today, like their standards are too high? I've just did a couple of interviews and a lot of the guys is saying, especially for the women in Atlanta, their standards are way too high. They need to come bring it down and just remove all that superficial stuff when it comes to dating in Atlanta.
Yeah, so I'm a mental health therapist, and so I deal with single women all the time. And when they're talking about their dating, I try to tell them, like, it's not about you. It's about the other person. And so one of the things I ask them is, how did you make that first date that man's best first date? What did you do? What questions did you ask? Did you generally try to get to know him? Did you compliment him? Did you say, oh, that's cool? Not just a interview, not just trying to check off these boxes, but how can I go home to my family or my friends and say, bro, that was a great date for me. And even as I'm conscious about that on my dates, like, did she try to make me feel like that? Or was she here just really for her? And that's okay, but it just means that it's not an investable thing in the long term for myself. So that's something I ask single women all the time. And my best friends too, like, was that man's best first date? And they don't think about that type of things because I'm getting ready. I'm okay. I got my education. I'm making it. I'm self-sufficient. Awesome. And that's amazing, but that doesn't apply to relationships. It's like trying to compare basketball and swimming. Those characteristics don't compete with each other. So this is about, can you connect with somebody? Can you emotionally move them? Can you make them feel safe? Can you make them feel like in this world of chaos that when they come home to you, that they can be at peace? And those other things don't necessarily correlate with that.
He's spot on, but many of them only care solely about themselves. They are far too concerned about what they can take to ever consider what they might give. This mindset is why more and more men are choosing to avoid them like the plague.
Throw this plate up, it won't break.
Yes, it will.
You believe me?
No.
Just believe me. Watch. Okay?
This better not break.
For you to catch it!
Why would I catch it when you just said you'd throw it up and it wouldn't break?
Well, I thought you would know that a plate would break that! The whole point was for you to catch it so I could say, aha, I was right! You're supposed to catch it! Why would you let your son throw up a plate that you knew that would break? Why would you?
I don't know, honestly. I don't. I'm an idiot, I guess.
And basically your fault.
Okay, it's not my
Dad.
If women had access to all of the firearms on Earth that exist, they still don't have the requisite brute force that would be necessary to keep men under control. They just wouldn't. Because men have a monopoly on force. I'll give you an example. If tomorrow men decided to enslave all women would be enslaved. However, if tomorrow all women decided to enslave all men, they do not have the force doctrine and requisite necessary to do so. If you were the head of a prison, would you rather have all male or all female guards? If you were dealing with dangerous prisoners?
Sorry, honey. I love you. You okay?
Yep.
You got enough water?
Yep.
You feeling good?
Uh-huh.
Should I shut up?
Yep.
Okay.
Dating a woman that can't control her mouth when she's angry is the same as dating a man who can't control his hands when he's angry. It's just a different form of abuse. That's some super hella fact.
Never made a woman pay for herself on a date. You seem like the type that would do 50-50.
Interesting.
Yes or no?
No. I feel I'm the provider of the family.
You're the provider,
Yeah, I feel
so
like
you have
that's,
money.
is that what you're here for?
No, I'm here for love.
Or,
But I can never love a broke man. So everybody put your head down if you don't have money.
If more than half the guys raise their hands, the men may vote to replace the girl. I'll leave it on you guys. They all wanted to swap.
And that's what happens when you get rejected.
Tell me if I got like really fat or...
You guys are not, you're not built like us. Guys can say to each other and guys are like, yeah, you know what? You're right. I gotta get my together. And women are just weak. So you say something, women are fragile. And here's the, they're also, no.
Stupid.
Well, here's the thing. There's a lot of truth to that. Women are,
oh my God.
Women are weaker and dumber than men.
Weaker and dumb or emotionally intelligent?
No. Women, in a lot of ways, you could just say women are pathetic. And so when you have to speak honestly, you have to talk to a woman like you would a child. Hey, you know, sugar and a lot of carbs, they actually aren't that good for you. Don't, unless you're going to expend a lot of energy. I think I might get into some tuna. You know, something like that. Something like that.
I hate you so much.
But it's not your fault. It's really just being a woman.
The fact that she immediately proved his point without even realizing it is hilarious.
If there's nothing wrong with me, maybe there's something wrong with the universe.
I don't want a man who's only going to judge me based on my size. You just called him short. We don't want a woman that's only gonna base us based off our height. I'm the same way he doesn't qualify for you. With your figure, a lot of guys you won't qualify for. Give me a second. That's okay.
Do you want a hug? Okay, you guys are all just like really misogynistic.
How do you define misogyny? I'm just asking how you define misogyny.
Can I go? The most attractive men you would ever see, I would turn them down immediately over like some mid white boy.
So you've just made a categorization. So you said there's beautiful men and there's mid men. Why are you able to make an objective determination about someone's physical appearance, but you can't do that to yourself?
I will always consider myself a 10. I do what I want with the way I look.
But how can, if it's...
Bro, you can all down these specifics. You want me to say I'm like a 9? I don't care what you say. I really don't care what you think about how I look.
That's fine.
Are you alright? Well, it's kind of stressful. You're putting me on a podcast to debate how I look, and I've already said I don't care. No. We talked about how much longer you want to go on about it. I don't give a... Call me an 8. I don't care what you want to call me. I already said that I think I'm a 10, and this discussion is really pointless.
If you enjoyed this video, I promise you will love this next video. I will see you there.